Oh hey, Stroll and Sue here.
And we're back in the classroom. So you know what that means. I finally brought to you guys the Girl Voice tutorial part 2-ish kind of Q&A that many of you have been waiting for almost a freaking year now since the last one I made. I do have a disclaimer. Please do not skip this. So I do not plan to make any future Girl Voice tutorials after this one. Not because I don't want to help people, but because I'm not a professional by any means. I simply just use my female voice for entertainment purposes only. And that's the main point there. This is also part of the disclaimer. This is just huge, and I didn't think I had to mention this in the original video, but even though my tutorial was like a step-by-step format, I only formatted it in that way for simplicity and just understanding. You know, people took it in the wrong way where, oh, I do this, this, and that, and then boom, you're there. But no, it takes a lot more than that. I kind of, like I said, I just did it in a way so it's just simplified so it can help a lot of people, because you know, people just need that first step to get there, and then once they're there, you know, that's when you build off of what you know already. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to say that for the original video. But the female voice does take a really long time to practice and get down, and some people just didn't understand that, but that's totally okay. Anyways, the point I'm trying to get across is it might take someone years to get it, and it might take someone months, but that does not matter. Don't worry about anyone else. This is about you. So whatever you got to do, whatever time you need to take it. Just because someone took 2 months to get it down does not mean you need 2 months to get it down, right? And that, you know, people get very disappointed in themselves, and I don't want that. You know, I don't want to hurt anybody, or you know, just because I got it down in blah 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 amount of time, that means you got to do it. And if you don't do it, you suck. No, not at all. Just make sure you're focused on yourself, and if you want to get it down, you push yourself to do it. Another topic I'm not going to get into this video is questions about age. I've had a lot of questions about age, like how young can I be to do it? How old can I be to do it? When should I start? You know, and that's just a very touchy subject. I'm sorry for all those people that, you know, are asking questions about time and age. But I'm not going to get into those for many reasons, and I'm sure you can understand why. If you haven't already, please watch the original video first, and make sure to watch it all the way through, because I've gotten some comments or questions that, you know, have been answered in that video, but you know, since people kind of like skim over it and just kind of skip to the parts where they want to, they don't really watch the entirety of the video. And I'm like, well, I kind of already answered that in the original video, but that's totally okay. I'll go over those in this video as well. But again, make sure to watch that original video. It's going to help a lot with this one here. Last thing I need to mention before the actual Q&A starts. So I did not expect my Girl Voice tutorial to do so well, and I'm extremely happy that I helped a lot of people get over that hill that they couldn't get over before. Even though I did help a lot of people, it also brought a lot more questions and a bigger audience, right, that want to do the same thing. And those people might need a little bit more of a clarification, or like a better understanding of how to come this far along into the journey, which is great. That's why I'm making this video. And it's been almost a year since my original voice tutorial has been uploaded, and ever since I'm up to, I think, like 340,000 views and over 1,000 comments. So it's truly mind-blowing to me, and I just want to give a big thanks to all of you guys. Discord is still on, so if you want to join the Discord, I have great people in there that are always helping everybody, so you can definitely join in there. We have different channels where we all help, where everyone helps each other. You know, we have little voice audio clips that you can submit, you can get feedback. Everyone's there, everyone's very supportive. So if you're interested in that, make sure to go join the Discord.
So yeah, thanks all for listening to that big O speech that I had to give.
Let's get started, guys. Let's get started. All right, so how I'm gonna make this work is I'm gonna go over the direct questions from videos and comments and Discord servers and all this stuff that I've gotten, that I've grouped together. A couple direct questions that are also very similar, and then at the end I'll do an in conclusion type thing to answer like all of them. And even though I might not get to your question exactly, that's probably because it's very similar to the other ones. I'm also going to keep this totally anonymous, just for everyone's privacy. First question is asking about is messing around with your vocal cords and positioning your Adam's apple dangerous? Can it affect you in the long term or in any way possible? The answer is yes and no. kind of depends on how you take it. So if you're starting to feel pain, just stop, go at your own pace, and listen to your body. It's hard to say if you're training your voice incorrectly, you know, quote unquote, training your voice incorrectly, because everyone learns differently. And if it's hurting, if you feel actual pain, just stop, take a break until you recover from it and when you're ready to get back into it. Feminizing your voice is very similar to a workout. So you're not gonna lift 250 pounds just like that. You gotta get there. So you're working to it slowly, and just like muscles, they're getting sore and they're getting tired. So over time, the more you do it, the easier it's gonna get, right? Then that's the goal. You're trying to reach that 250, but you're starting off at like 20 or 40 pounds. Just take it at your own pace. And can it affect you? It can affect you. It might affect your natural voice. So if you like your normal voice like I do, make sure to switch between. Because if you're always going to do the girl voice, your vocal cords are naturally going to be at that position, so it might sound a little bit more feminine than you used to when you first started or something like that. So yeah, overall, just listen to your body. So I have two questions here. One of them is it sounds gravelly and you kind of want to prevent that. And the second one is when you are talking in a feminine voice or like in a higher pitch, it sort of becomes into a half whisper. So for the first question where it sounds a bit more gravelly, if you're worried about this, some women do have a gravelly voice, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but for this specific person, they don't want that. So to get rid of that, try to make breathier noises or breathier sounds when you're kind of pronouncing the words. This also goes with the other one where it kind of becomes a half whisper. So you need more power in your voice. Again, this comes with confidence as well. So make sure you're not really nervous when you're doing it. So if you do get nervous around people, make sure you're in an enclosed space so it doesn't get to your head. Don't let it get to your head. You gotta make it breathier. So you're talking like this where you're pushing air through. You know, that can use your chest, your diaphragm. You're trying to push it through, you know, because when it gets stuck, it kind of creates that gravelly noise. You're just trying to produce more sound. Think of it like the self-checkout at Walmart or something where it's like, hello, you know, hello. So you're trying to push it out there. The way you announce it, the way you're announcing your vowels really makes a big difference. So you're kind of, if you're just saying hello, you know, hello, maybe it sounds a little bit like this, where it does become like a half whisper, but you just need hello, 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 right? You just need to push it through. That's what you got to do. Doing this also will help with expanding your lungs. Expanding your lungs can also be a very good thing when it comes to this. It's not necessary by all means. You don't need to learn how to expand your lungs. You know, it will help because you're gonna be speaking for a longer time without taking a lot of breaths. It's hard to teach you this just because, well, I was in band for a long time. I played the saxophone, and you really need to learn how to control your air when you're playing an instrument. I remember doing like a and just holding it as long as you can. Take a deep breath, do it all over again. Power does not necessarily mean loud. You know, you can have a very powerful voice, but not necessarily be loud.
So I'm not yelling, right? But I am talking in a way where it kind of shoots out my words out my mouth. You're adding more vocal weight. Think of it like that. So words are heavier and you're trying to sound more powerful, right? But you're not necessarily being loud. Sure, I can be very loud and have the same amount of power, but you don't need it. You don't need it. That's where it kind of becomes where that half whisper you're getting and the graveliness, that goes away with power or vocal weight, right? That's pretty much it. So yeah.
I am going to timestamp this question because it's the most popular, most confusing question I've gotten by far by everyone, and I've seen it everywhere. But then again, just because I'm timestamping, don't skip the rest of this video. Make sure you're listening to all the questions because other questions do come up when you're learning something. Raising your larynx, right? Raising the back of your tongue. That's how I said in the original video. So I have 3 questions here that can all be answered together. This first person said when they raise the back of their tongue, it kind of blocks off any sort of speaking, or it blocks their speaking. The second person said that they don't really have an Adam's apple if there's something else they can reference to. And this third person said that they struggle just raising their Adam's apple because they have a gag reflex. It kind of gets triggered when you move the back of your tongue or you kind of raise it up to the roof of your mouth. So the answer to these are, when you raise it, you don't gotta touch it. If I'm really pushing it up there, I can't speak either. You just gotta raise it enough so you feel a stretching or pulling upward sensation in your throat. Also to the Adam's apple reference, because I don't have an Adam's apple as well. You kind of, when you first start, you're gonna definitely feel this upwards like pulling sensation up here, like in your throat. Let me get a little closer. So you're gonna feel it like right here, and you're gonna feel this upwards pulling sensation. That just means that your larynx is getting raised, and that's what we're trying to do. So a way to think about it is making the G sound. So guh, guh. That's that exact same feeling when you make that sound is the exact same feeling you're going to feel right here in your larynx. So you're going to feel that upwards pulling sensation. So raising your larynx is definitely the best way to learn the female voice. There's tons of other methods out there, but I'm not going to go over them because that's not the way I learned, and I'm not going to lead you towards something that I don't know much about. If you're referencing my tutorial, just raise the back of your tongue to raise your larynx, and you're going to feel an upward sensation in your throat here, even if you don't have an Adam's apple or not, because I don't, right? It's not protruding outwards, it's just in there, but we all have it. And making that guh sound. It's that guh 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 guh. Whenever you do that, your tongue touches the roof of your mouth, but that's that. It's just a feeling that you're trying to get, you know? So I can show you kind of an example. So if I say guh, guh, guh. So if I just expand the word, so I'm saying it slower, guh, it gets to a point where it's like this, right? This is that would probably, I'd say that's probably too much. So you don't want that gravelly old lady, grandma sounding smoker. You know, you don't want that. So trying to get that right in between that. So guh. And it's about right here, you know, even though I'm not really adding anything else to it, it still sounds higher pitched and more feminine. So your tongue naturally goes into that position when you say the G/G sound. So try practicing and messing around with it like I just did. Because you don't want too much, because then you'll sound kind of like a grandma, because what I'm doing here is raising it up all the way, and yeah, this will get you real tired. But not so low where it doesn't really do anything, right? Just practice and mess around with that, so hopefully that answers those questions. And like I said, that's probably the most important, or the most common question I've gotten so far. So I really hope this helps. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this, but very similar to the G sound, you gotta do another way is like kind of hissing. So, and it's very similar where it just kind of naturally puts you in that position. That's why normally it sounds a little bit higher. You can't really do a low hiss. And if you can, damn, good job. But hissing also is another way of just getting that position that you kind of want, what you're looking for. You know, someone said, is barking like a dog helpful? Not barking, but panting like a dog is, because it makes the same G, like the G sound. So it makes the same G sound. So like it's like a mix of the G and the heh, right? It's very similar. So I guess guys, pant like a dog and you'll get there. This person is asking about like training pitch and like the tone and how kind of you can sound higher pitched but not really sound feminine, kind of like Mickey Mouse, right? Where he sounds high pitched but still sounds male in a sort of way. If you're trying to sound more feminine, try to make your voice sound smaller. But smaller does not mean less power. Just, you still want that power, because then you're going to get other problems like the graveliness that you may not want, or you're just kind of sort of whispering at that point. So like some voice impressionists can like just raise like the fuck out of their voices and still kind of keep that same tone. So they still sound like a man, but they just have like a higher like pitched voice. So like I don't sound female at all, but it's raised, you know, it's raised up here. So think of it as, instead of just only raising the pitch, raising your voice to make it sound higher, think of it also as making your voice sound smaller. So the amount of space that's bouncing around in your mouth, you got to reduce that. That's called resonance. You're really only trying to raise pitch when you're trying to sound higher. Like, you want to sound higher. So towards Mickey Mouse, if Mickey Mouse is right here and your normal voice is right here, I'm guessing you're trying to look somewhere in this area, right? Somewhere in between. If you just reduce the resonance, you just naturally are going to sound more feminine. That's where you get that like femboyish sounding voice where it's not necessarily female, but it's more it sounds a little bit more feminine, right? It's a femboy. This also comes with answering the question of, like, I have a very deep voice. Can I still do it? Yes, you can do whatever you want with your voice. You just gotta know how to decrease the size in your voice. And don't confuse this with what I said earlier. You still want that power, so you're not sounding gravelly or like super soft or like whispering. So yeah, just mess around with that. I hope that makes sense. Bro, this comment's funny. He said, I'm not transgender, but my bro just doesn't have a girl. You always gotta help out the homies.
Sometimes, when they feel a little alone.
I don't know why this is funny to me, but this guy asked if it's reversible. No, if you do the girl voice, you'll never go back. This one's mostly focused on questions about the girl voice, but people also want to know about me, so I'm here to answer those as well. This person asked, when I first started doing the voice impression, did I watch tutorials or did I start from scratch? One time I was, 15, 16 years old. I was watching some random YouTube video. Someone was voice trolling as a chick in Black Ops 2 or like Black Ops 3 or something. And I thought it was like the funniest shit. And at the time, I was super into voice impressions and just trolling. Like, there is like Minecraft trolling, all this stuff. And I'm like, man, it would be so funny if I can do that too, right? If I ever felt like helping out the homies, like this other guy said, yeah, 100% I would do it. It really just came from messing around with my friends and just kind of learning based off what I already knew at the time. At the time, also, again, I was in band, so I would learn how to. I kind of learned from everything that I knew, so I'm self-taught, and I'm here to help you guys, hopefully. This question was, why do videos take so long to make? A couple reasons. One is my content is based on trolling, right? Voice trolling specifically. I could do other sorts of trolling, but girl voice trolling is really where it's at, and it's based in VrChat, and it's kind of to the point of VrChat where people just don't give me reactions anymore. It sounds sad, but like I'm like, oh, this could be potentially like really good. This guy's hitting on me or something, and I'm like, okay, this is my opportunity to really get this guy, get a good reaction, add this to like a video, right? And it ends up being like, oh, it's just very bland. I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of already knew, I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Or like, oh, whatever. It's not really entertaining, and I don't fake my content. I don't know if other voice trollers do, but none of my content's fake. Every single reaction I've gotten so far is 100% authentic, and I've just gotten lucky to get it on camera. Oh my god, it's happened so many times. I get a really good reaction, but fuck, I was like using the wrong mic or something, and I didn't get my audio, and I'm like, oh, what's the fucking point? What am I doing? Like, god damn it. Second reason is work, right? I work on weekends. I'm very part-time. That's because I go to school. Right, when I'm doing schoolwork, it takes up most of my freaking time because I'm in college. I'm almost done. Once I'm done getting my bachelor's degree in biology, I want to really work on YouTube for a little bit, at least a year. And if it just doesn't work out, then I guess fuck it, I'm getting a 9-to-5 in like some pharmacy or something. But yeah, I'm just really busy, and I also do go outside. On top of that, when I do have footage ready, I do all my stuff. So I make my own thumbnails. I gotta make sure to go in VrChat and get a good picture. I gotta edit the video. I might add captions. I might add sound effects, and it takes a long time to do that itself. Most importantly, I'm lazy as shit, man. I would do like the bare minimum with school, with work, just to get it over with. But yeah, that's a good question. Thank you for asking. Someone asked me, as a person that's able to make a really feminine voice, have I ever had thoughts about being trans? Answer is no. I'm born male. I am a guy. I've always seen myself as a guy, and I'm very happy with who I am. I've just been always so intrigued with voices and impressions and stuff like that. I'm telling you, it literally started by saying a YouTube video back in the day that I thought was hilarious, and man, I would rewatch it so many times because I thought it was so funny, people's reactions and things like that. So, no, I'm not trans. I'll just bring up the question with sexuality. I like chicks. I like girls. I've never been attracted to a guy ever, I guess. I've seen like attractive guys like freaking Rad Reynolds and shit like that. I'm like, damn, he's a good looking guy, but I don't ever want to fuck him. If you want to know my type, this is my type right here. Brown hair, brown eyes. Oh my god, I love you immediately. If you're a girl over the age of 20, hey, hit me up. And if you don't live so far away, God, hey, let's do something. You'll never be bored around me. Yeah. Anyways, how many licks, specifically me, do I need to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? I don't know. I need to find out. Hey, if you're watching, whoever asked this, if you're watching, comment the video and I will reply once I get your answer. What inspired my username, Strollin' Stew? Well, it comes from this little guy here. This is from Mario Sunshine, which is one of my favorite games of all time. And I don't know, he's never been in any other game. You can search up on the wiki. He's literally only been in 2 games, which is Mario Sunshine and then the remake that came out on Switch. Like, that's it. It's not in anything else. And, I don't know. This is just... I changed it once and I've never gone back since. How old am I? I am 21 years old. Another person asked, what state do I live in? And why do I sound Latina? Well, I'm from Colorado. I was born in the US, but my parents are born in Mexico. So yes, I am Latino. I'm Mexican. That's why I guess you can hear it in my voice. I don't know that. I don't know. Some people can't really hear it. Some people just think I'm white. Final question. Am I a squirter? Or am I a part of the cream team? I'm definitely. One last thing, shout out to my friends and helpers that are in my Discord server that have been there since freaking day one. You know who you are. This is only for you, that you know who you are, okay? There you go. That's for you guys. Because God, I really could not do this freaking video without you guys. And the amount of questions and answers, I'm like, man, I don't know how to answer this. What? But yeah, thank you so much.
So that's gonna wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I gave you an answer that you were looking for, or just gave you a better explanation on something, or got a little cleared up your mind a bit. And also, I hope you learned a little bit about me. More videos will come soon. Thank you guys so much. Please like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm trying to get to 30K on this channel here, and I'm at like 26, so we're very, very close. Also, I want to stream more. I have been streaming more actually, so go tune in on those. I don't have a set schedule yet, but we're getting there. I'm really just streaming when I get the chance. Follow me on Twitch, link in the description of that. Discord server, link in the description. One last hug for all of you guys. Thank you guys so much for your support. And yeah, I will see you all in the next video whenever that comes out. Bye.